we have to be, as Christians, I guess I'll say it this way. We don't know, and we can't assume. I believe in the pre-trib rapture, of course, all the way. But we could have full, complete, totalitarian non-sovereignty on America's gone before the tribulation even begins. We could observe all of that. There's no guarantee that like the 10 kings, whatever that means, and that organizational structure, whatever that looks like, even the coming global order, all that could be well in place, even potentially years before the tribulation begins. There's no promise that it only happens in the midpoint. We just know that by then it does. And then, of course, Satan has the mark. We do know the mark is in the midpoint. That's 100% true. But all the rest of the stuff?
Totally agree. 100% agree. And I'm sure they get angry at you for saying it, because they get angry at me for saying it. I say, look, we could see the system of the 10 kings happen, because all we know from Daniel chapter 7, verse 24 is the 10 kings have to be in place before Antichrist, because they give the power to Antichrist. In Daniel chapter 7, verse 24, it says, after these 10, then Antichrist.
How long are they around? Could they be 5-10 years? Maybe.
Could be. So this is what's happening. The system is being built. So it's understanding, all we know for sure is the rapture is going to take place before the 7-year tribulation begins. Before Antichrist confirms that covenant of Daniel chapter 9. We know it's going to take place before that, but we don't know when the day or the hour is of the confirmation of the covenant. We don't know that. So how can we know the day or the hour of the rapture? We know it happened before that, but we don't know. We see things happening with Israel. We can tell the dynamics. We get a good idea of the time frame. We're in the latter days, no doubt about it.
We're at the end of the age.
But what does that mean? A week? Or does that mean 5 years? Or
10 years?
Boy, when I say that one, boy, do I get people mad at me when I've said that. But
they're like, no way. Well, hey, don't assume anything.
Don't assume anything. I've been promised the rapture since 1988, every single year.
That's how I feel too.
And listen, our concern is that people would be strong in the Lord. They would have a sharp mind, critically thinking about everything, not be easily swayed, because if you think you're going to be out of here next week because you're promised next week you're going to be raptured.
Fall, right?
Well, what are you going to?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, every fall we go through. Every fall,
every high holy days.
And you're here a month later. You're going to be greatly discouraged. Anxiety is going to overwhelm you, and you're going to be swayed. And God doesn't want us to be that way. He wants us to be have a sound mind and understand what His Word does say. So we go through His Word. We hope the rapture today. Hey, I hope.
I'm in, man.
I would be so excited to get raptured right this second. Man, I would be, I would prefer that. I would prefer that. We don't need the angry emails and the angry, we don't do that for this. We want people to be well educated and to be strong. And so that's why we do what we do. Because listen, we are seeing it. It is coming together. Every day, it's like you wake up and you go, oh, hey, I can't, did this really happen? So I wrote the book with that urgency, but I'm not foolish enough to say, hey, I'm just going to sell everything or I'm going to run up my credit cards and not do anything. No. As pastors, we get this, especially ones who like Bible prophecy. We can see the finish line. What does every single runner in any race do when they see the finish line? Man, the ones that are in last place are running harder than they were the rest of the race. They're all running as if they're going to get the prize, as if they're going to win. So that's what we do. We inspire one another. We encourage one another because we say, wow, it is all coming together, baby. Look up and lift up your head because your redemption draws near, but I'm not going to quit. I'm going to run to the finish line as hard as I possibly can.
Absolutely. And